Update 2. My girlfriend insisted I meet her parents over dinner. She trashed me in Spanish to them all night, thinking I wouldn't understand. She laughed, he's too stupid to even know. At the end of the dinner, I thanked her parents for their hospitality in perfect fluent Spanish and then exposed every lie she'd ever told me. The effect was instantaneous. Mrs. Rodriguez's fork clattered onto her plate. Mr. Rodriguez's jaw went slack, his eyes wide with shock. And Sophia turned a color I have never seen a human being turn before. It was a pale, ghostly white. She looked like she was going to be sick. I wasn't finished. I kept my warm, polite smile fixed on my face and turned back to her parents. Still speaking in fluent Spanish, I said, and Sophia, I just want to thank you as well. This evening has been incredibly clarifying. There are just a few small things I'd like to clear up while we're all here together. Update 1. The silence in the Rodriguez dining room was absolute. It was a heavy, suffocating silence broken only by the sound of Mrs. Rodriguez's unsteady breathing. Sophia was frozen in her chair, her face a mask of pure, unadulterated horror. She looked like a chess player who had just realized her opponent was not a pigeon, but a grandmaster who had been letting her win for sport. I kept my demeanor calm and pleasant, as if I were just making polite end-of-evening conversation. I addressed her parents directly, still speaking in the clear, formal Spanish my mother had taught me. First, I began, Sophia expressed some concern about my career and financial situation. I want to put your minds at ease. She must have been confused. I was actually made a junior partner at my architectural firm last month. It came with a significant raise. I am, in fact, doing very well. I reached into my pocket, pulled out my phone, and brought up the confirmation email for the trip to Italy I had booked for her birthday. I placed the phone on the table so they could see the details. As for her paying for our nice things, this is the itinerary for the surprise trip I was taking her on next month. First-class tickets, a suite at the Hotel Darius in Rome. I believe she mentioned she was paying for our vacations. Another simple confusion, I'm sure. I looked at Sophia. A single tear was tracing a path down her cheek, leaving a clean track through her makeup. She didn't move. Second, I continued, turning my attention back to her stunned parents. She mentioned my supposed lack of interest in her culture. This one wounded me deeply. My mother, Maria, was from Seville. She raised me speaking her language. It was the language of my home, of my heart. After she passed away, it became a private, painful memory. I didn't share it with Sophia because it was sacred to me. Her assumption that my silence was due to ignorance and disrespect is unfortunate. Mrs. Rodriguez put a hand to her chest, her expression softening with sympathy. Mr. Rodriguez just stared at his daughter with a look of dawning disappointment. And finally, I said, delivering the killing blow, the matter of commitment. I looked directly at Sophia now, my voice losing its pleasant tone and taking on a hard, icy edge. You told your parents that I was afraid to get married, that I was the one putting it off. You told them this knowing that I have spent the last month working with a jeweler to design a custom engagement ring for you, knowing that I was planning to ask you to be my wife under the stars in Rome. I let that statement hang in the air for a long moment. But I see now that a man cannot and should not propose to a woman who believes he is a stupid, clueless idiot. A man cannot build a future with a woman who uses the sacred language of his late mother as a tool to mock him, to belittle him, to her family. I stood up from the table. I turned to her parents one last time. Muchas gracias otra vez, I said again. Thank you for everything. You have a lovely home.